Most kids have at least one moment that shapes their lives. For Seki, it happened at the edge of the sea, forgotten by his teacher during a kindergarten trip just because he wasn't wearing the right uniform. The tide rolled in, the sky grew dark, and no one came back for him. That's when he realized he wasn't really seen by anyone. The headlines labeled him a missing child, but in reality, it seemed even his parents had moved on. He was placed in a state-run orphanage, labeled, processed, and left to grow in the shadows. By middle school, he was no longer hurt by bullies. He expected them. They glued gum to his hair, he simply cut it off. He wasn't waiting to be saved anymore. He was focused on surviving, and he did. He won first place in a national math competition, the kind of title that makes teachers finally say your name right. That's how he escaped the system. On pure academic merit, Seki transferred to Rainbow High School, the elite private school of Seoul. A school where students didn't walk to class, they stepped out of Ferraris. Seki arrived wearing a worn-out public school uniform, dragging a suitcase through the courtyard like a delivery boy. He didn't belong, and everyone made sure he knew that. The teachers didn't greet him. The students didn't speak. Even the front office woman sneered as she pointed vaguely toward class 3-2. That's when she walked in. Zai, the hallway noise faded. The air shifted. Zai was everything Seki wasn't: adored, admired, a mystery draped in expensive perfume and soft hair. She was supposed to be in class 1, but now, she was here. Every girl in the room hoped she'd sit next to them. But without a word, Zai dropped her bag beside Seki and sat down. Gasps, whispers. Seki, unaware of her fame, gave her a brief glance and went back to his notebook. Zai, she just smiled. Kindness, in this world, came at a price. Right after lunch, Seki was cornered outside the restroom. You think that seat's yours now, a girl snapped. That's her spot. You're just keeping it warm. They offered him a deal, switch to the front row. A better seat. He accepted, and one girl, Nari, handed him a gift with a fake smile. Seki replied coldly, if you really want to give something, buy more makeup. The mood turned fast. Just as things escalated, Zai appeared. Let's eat, she said, casually grabbing Seki's hand. He looked confused. Come on, I'm hungry, she smiled. Everyone watched as she led him away like a pet on a leash, and that's when Seki realized his silence had made him enemies. Zai's smile had made him a target. What no one knew was that Seki had just been reunited with his biological family, but it wasn't a fairy tale ending. His birth mother had passed long ago. His father, a prestigious university professor, had died before they could meet. Now, Seki lived with his stepmother in a quiet home that didn't quite feel like his own. One night, desperate to blend in, he bought a used Rainbow High uniform from an online seller. When it arrived, it smelled like blood and perfume. Inside the pocket, a torn umbrella wrapper. Something bad had happened in this uniform, but Seki couldn't afford a new one. He had no choice. Back at school, classmates laughed at his dirty collar. Nari accidentally spilled juice on him. The trauma he buried came flooding back. Seki ran to the restroom, scrubbing the stain like it could erase who he was. That's when a soft voice called his name. He turned. Zai stood there, and then, without warning, she hugged him from behind. I don't care if you smell. I don't care if you're poor. I like you, she whispered. Her grip was gentle. Her words burned like fire. From that moment, Seki wasn't just a student. He was Zai's something. The whispers grew louder. The stares lasted longer, and Seki couldn't tell if he felt safe or hunted. Then came the school's midterm test. Seki had been top of his class in his old school, but these questions, they were impossible. And somehow, every student in the room already knew the answers. Was the whole system rigged? When the results came back, Zai got a perfect score. Seki, just 4 points. Even the teacher smirked. Heard you were a genius back in your old school, she scoffed. Guess that was just a rumor. If you want to see part 2, then comment part 2, and definitely like and subscribe.